What's up, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint here with the new comic book day reviews for Wednesday, September 25th. Spoiler free, stay tuned. Alright guys, as you know, this segment is sponsored by my local comic shop, Lost Dog Comics, out here in El Paso, Texas. If you're in town, make sure to swing by, check them out, tell them Gem sent you. Alright guys, so first on the list, we have this New Mutants War Children one-shot. Now, I'm still trying to figure out if this is a new book or a reprint. It's supposed to be the reuniting of Chris Claremont and Bill Sienkiewicz, who did the original New Mutants run, but it takes place in the past, and it just feels like a lost issue from that 80s run, which I'm not really a huge fan of. I know that's like an unpopular opinion, but I picked this up because they have a New Mutants ongoing coming out after House of X, and I thought it might tie into that. But it really didn't. It felt like I read an old New Mutants issue. Didn't really like it. Next up, we have the Miles Morales Absolute Carnage tie-in issue 2. This really has to deal with Miles as the symbiote doppelganger. And he is inside of the mind, or it's showing him from the inside, and he's trying to control himself and fight this symbiote doppelganger that he's become. Like most of these Absolute Carnage issues, it moved along pretty slow. Nothing really happened. He teamed up with this other goon from Carnage's army, and I guess we figure out that they're still human inside, and they can communicate with each other through the hive. So it almost looks like there might be some implication of how the good guys are going to win. I don't know. It was alright. Amazing Spider-Man number 30. It ties in with Absolute Carnage. I was a little disappointed because I am not caught up on Amazing Spider-Man. I'm on like the Craven Hunted storyline. But I figured I could pick this up and read it, and it would just deal with the Absolute Carnage stuff, which is what happened. So really, you just get narration by this new guy with that big kind of bug around him. I don't even remember his name. I feel like it's Kindred, maybe. And it just kind of tells about the history of Norman Osborn versus Spider-Man, and shows like this battle as Norman as Carnage fighting Spider-Man, and nothing really happens, again, like with most of these Absolute Carnage tie-ins, and the main story, to be honest. Strike Force number 1. I picked this up because it was a new number 1, and it looked like it had a pretty cool team on the cover. What do you got? Blade, Ghost Rider, Angela, Spider-Woman, Winter Soldier, and it kind of has to deal with some. It has to deal with some kind of Asgardian race. No, not Asgardian, but you know what I mean, like a race of shapeshifters that we've never heard of. They're not Skrulls, and they're kind of like vampires. And I'm probably not going to pick up issue 2, to be honest with you. Powers of X5, very cool story, man. It really shows a couple of different eras, and it's showing Professor X and Magneto recruiting Emma Frost and kind of talking her into this whole sovereign nation thing. We get some idea of the governmental structure and who's on like the board of directors here. You know, not giving out spoilers, obviously, but they mention some other characters that we haven't seen yet. And Jonathan Hickman teased a new mutant that we're going to get in this story that we haven't seen in a while. And I'm not going to spoil who he is, but his name is synonymous with one of the all-time favorite Geminites. So if you're a fan of the channel, you know who I'm talking about. It shows an interesting meeting between Professor X and Namor. Very Namor-like and kind of gangster. So, you know, again, it's not spoilers here, but I thought it was a good issue. There's only 2 more issues left, y'all. House of X 6 and Powers of 10 6. And then we're going to wrap this up and go into some new ongoing. So, exciting times. Batman Curse of the White Knight issue 3. So, we're back in this universe. And I'm reading a couple different titles with Batman. And they're all, like, not connected, right? So, the big shocker at the end of issue 2, or during issue 2, is that Harley Quinn is pregnant with Jack Napier, or Joker's kid. So, we get more of that in here. Batman seems to be unmasking himself in front of everybody. He works with the Gotham City Police. You know, they seem to know that he's Bruce Wayne. He unmasks himself to somebody else. They're trying to get Joker to give them information, but the medicine that was keeping him human no longer works. They thought they could straight Maury his ass with Harley Quinn, but it didn't really go so well for them. It was a good issue, though. Alright, so Batman Superman issue 2. Now that big shocker at the end of issue 1 was the Shazam Who Laughs. So Batman Who Laughs is trying to infect the heroes to make them have the same type of virus or whatever you want to call it that makes him him. So very awesome battle between Batman and Superman and this Shazam Who Laughs. You can see that Batman Who Laughs has created these batarangs that are like infused with his serum or whatever, that are specialized for each of the Justice League members that he's going to try to control and, you know, take over with. So it's interesting to see where it's going to go. Yeah, I'm keeping up with it for sure. Guys, pick of the week is the DC Black Label Harleen. I really like this story. It's like a trade paperback. It's a lot of pages, man. And it's really like a retelling of Harley Quinn's origin. They show her in school, and they show her becoming a therapist and meeting Joker for the first time. And it's written very well, man. I think that the writer did a great job here. Much better than the Batman Adventures 12 origin we get, or even the Batman Harley Quinn #1. It's kind of like the Harley Quinn origin that we all deserved. And I really am happy that I picked this up, and will continue to read it. Alright guys, just a couple of quick honorable mentions. I like to pick up these True Believers because I like to throw them in like giveaway boxes and stuff. I especially like the, you know, Professor Hulk thing too. And the funny thing about this book is that like the original is kind of a key issue for the third print variant that's like super scarce in 9.8. I picked up Superior Spider-Man 11, but I'm not caught up on the rest of the run yet. I still need to read that and get up to date on that. Alright guys, that's the haul for today. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Make sure to hit that like on the way out. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more daily content. We got New York Comic Con coming next week. We're going to have a ton of footage. I'm planning a bunch of collaborations. And it's going to be fun, man. So stay tuned, hit the bell, and stay minty fresh. Peace.